The series name is What If Naruto Become Hero in Bleach. So let's start the series. 2 boys and 1 girl were sitting under a tree. Okay, rephrase that. 2 boys were knocked out in pain and a beat-up girl was sitting down tiredly trying to protect them. They were in the damn Chunin exams and their great teacher decided to enter them in for the hell of it. Why? Probably to show off the Uchiha. But hey, it's all good. Now let's talk about their injuries, shall we? The girl had barely a scratch on her. Why, you ask? Because she does jack shit. The boy, the Uchiha, actually did something to protect his teammates. Oh bless him, he actually has a heart. The final boy under the tree is our protagonist, Uzumaki Naruto. Now, before we continue, I would like a moment of silence for Naruto. He is about to die in about 2 minutes, 41 seconds, and 2 milliseconds. Yes, you heard right folks, he is going to die now. Normally I would be bawling my eyes out because our hero is going to die. Not the case, because his death will lead to the greatest happiness in his death and life. Now how did he get to the place he needed to go? Simple. The Kyuubi's chakra doesn't bode well with death. Soul Society. Naruto thought. Naruto got up and looked around. He was in a street. A very dusty street with some wooden houses. Where am I? Taicho, I found the anomaly. Naruto jumped at the yell and looked around hurriedly. What the hell? What's wrong? Where am I? Naruto held his head. What was I doing before? My name. What is my name? Naruto. Yeah, that's my name, Naruto. Hey brat. Naruto looked up. A dark-skinned woman with golden-colored eyes and short purple hair, think back to Pendulum, was staring at him, as if judging him for what he was worth. Naruto looked down and blushed. It was kind of embarrassing. He felt power from this woman. He was uncertain about it, but all of his instincts told him to be wary. Brat, what's your name? You should remember that much by now. Naruto looked up at the woman again. It's Naruto. The woman nodded. My name is Yurichi. Come with me. Naruto obeyed. Inside he felt he had no choice either way. 20 years later, there are several training grounds in the 2nd Division. Why? Because they had to train. Now of course any Shinigami belonging to the 2nd Division could use them. But if any seated officer wanted to use the training ground privately, then it would be done. Well, unless a higher officer stepped in. But that's besides the point. Ma, you have to do better than that. Naruto smirked as he ducked a flurry of punches. His favorite little student was attacking him out of anger and frustration. No matter how hard she tried, or how long she did, she could never hit him. It was so frustrating. Then a fully black-garbed Shinigami entered the training grounds. He knelt down and was waiting for the seated officer to speak. Both Naruto and his student stopped. Hi, Naruto said, looking at the Shinigami. Naruto Fukateko, Yurichi Taicho requested your presence. Naruto nodded. I'll be there in a minute. Naruto looked at his student and smiled. Well, I gotta go make sure you practice. You are still young, you know. His student pouted. You're the same age as me. Naruto just laughed as he shunpoed away. The Shinigami, still kneeling, shook his head. Naruto Uzumaki, the youngest genius of Soul Society. He graduated in 5 years in the academy and made his way up the ranks in 8 years and has been Fukateko for 100 years later. What could he be talking about? The captain of the 2nd Division pondered out loud as she stirred her tea. Who knows? Naruto said while stirring his own cup as well. The Shinigami, reporting to Yurichi, then asked, what action would you prefer to be taken, Yurichi Taicho? If you have no recollection of allowing him to enter the maggot's nest? Yurichi sipped her cup and then shrugged. Nothing, it's alright, Naruto? Naruto was less eloquent, and poured the contents of his tea into his mouth. After swallowing it, he shook his head. It's Urahara we're talking about. We don't know what's going in his mind. All that we can guess is that it's going to be good. Yurichi nodded. Alright, allow him to go wherever he wants. Yurichi-sama, Naruto Fukateko. Yurichi waved her hand at Soifan. Stop making a racket. About a few years later, Naruto sighed as he walked down the corridor. Aizen Fukateko has been acting strange lately. I'm probably just imagining it. Naruto looked up at the stars and sighed. I'll look into it later. Suddenly a messenger appeared in front of Naruto, kneeling. Naruto's eyes widened. Report. Naruto breathed out. Sir, you have been requested to go on an investigation mission to find out what happened to the 9th Division. Naruto nodded and shunped away immediately. Hours later. Damn it, my body, Naruto thought. Naruto glared at Aizen. So it was him. He had to get up. He had to warn everyone. Aizen smirked as he saw Naruto get up slowly. Good. Agitate yourself. It'll help speed up the holification. Naruto's eyes widened and suddenly he barked a white substance that covered his face. 3 months later. How long will it take to get him out of this? Shinji asked while looking at Naruto's catatonic body. Kasuke shrugged. Unlike your hollowification, his is much gentler. It's as if he is getting help from an outside source. Hiyori entered the Urahara's shop. They had set up the shop a month after they got there, along with another base, but they kept Naruto here for Kasuke to examine and maybe help. Hiyori walked up and stood next to her former Taicho. Linda, Love, and Hachi have begun training themselves at the warehouse. How is he doing? Kasuke shrugged and sat against the newly painted wall. He is doing great. No signs of pain. No signs of more hollowification. It's as if something is holding it back. Shinji sighed. If he is holding it back, then does that mean he is trying to fight the inevitable? Kasuke shook his head. No, there are definitely fluctuations in his Ryutsu. That indicates he is fighting his hollow. Something else is keeping the hollow from expanding its territory. This is making the tug-of-war much longer, but the benefits could be uncalculable. Shinji raised an eyebrow. What do you mean? Kasuke stood up and placed a hand on Naruto's hair. When you guys fought your internal battles there was immense stress on the body. And after you recovered did you notice how your regular bodies felt stronger? Hiyori nodded. Yeah, my reflexes and stuff were stronger. Shinji shrugged. What does this have to do with this? Kasuke turned to Shinji. With Naruto's energy constantly fluctuating in fighting, by the time he recovers, he will be at least at captain level energy. 100 years later, Naruto looked at the group in front of him and sighed. So you guys are going to blindly charge into the Soul Society and try to rescue some girl. Ichigo glared at Naruto. What's it to you? I didn't even ask you to come. Naruto rolled his eyes. You didn't ask me, Yurichi and Kasuke did. That is more than enough reason, but I'm wondering what made you go. Ichigo looked down and explained. Naruto listened intently. He liked this brat, he had a good heart. 1 year later, Naruto yelled while charging at Aizen. I'll kill you, I'm gonna kill you. Naruto dodged Jin's swing and ducked under Tosen's slash. He kept going after Aizen, who looked at him disinterested as if he were looking at an ant. He ruined my life. He is going to die. Naruto's eyes bled red. Hour later. Ha ha, Naruto panted on the ground. He had finally killed Jin. Naruto got up unsteadily and spat on Jin's corpse. That bastard, it had taken his Shurikai to kill him. Jin had mortally wounded Hitsugaya and Kira before Naruto could step in and defend them. When Naruto used his resurrection form, Naruto immediately went into his hollow form. Even that wasn't enough for that bastard, so he went into his Shurikai and barely scraped through. Sure, Naruto could have used his Bankai, but he wanted to save his trump for Aizen. Naruto caught his breath, looked up and smirked. It looked like that brat and the other Taichos were attacking Aizen, only a matter of time now. Naruto thought while waiting for his turn to take a bite at Aizen. 1 week later, Naruto and his fellow Shinigami bowed their heads, not daring to look up. They were in front of the king. Yes, the king, Kami, Celestial, whatever you want to call it, but this was once and forever chance. You have all done me a great service and I shall reward you all, the king said. 1 hour later. After all, and I mean all of the award were given, only one person was left, Naruto. The king spoke again, behind his screen that protected his face from the Shinigami's eyes. I would like to speak to Uzumaki Naruto alone. Naruto frowned. What the hell? The Shinigami left silently. When the doors were closed, and everyone had left, the king spoke. Naruto, do you know why you were brought to this world? Naruto kept his head bowed. No, I do not, my lord. The king sighed. I brought you here from a different world. You were actually supposed to live in the human world for a very long time, but I ended your life to serve. Naruto's eyes widened as he looked at the ground. He had died early. Well, of course he was young when he entered the Soul Society, but he could have lived more. Wait, what about everyone? Taicho, the human brats, the wizards, everyone, it was all worth it. It is fine, my lord, I accept my early death. It was worth what came out of it, Naruto said, confident that his answer was the right one. The king chuckled happily. It is good that you say that, but I have a request for you. Naruto kept his head to his floor. Anything, my lord. The king sighed, as if regretting his decision already. I need you to go back to your earlier life and live it to the fullest, complete your cycle. Naruto raised his head a centimeter, confused. My lord? There are several different worlds we live in, each of them are parallel to the next, but all of them branch out from a certain point. Now I will tell you a secret, Naruto. I am not the only Kami. Naruto was silent, trying to process the information. With me I have 41 brothers and sisters, and all 42 of us rule over an infinite amount of worlds. The workload is horrendous, but it is necessary. But I am going off the topic. I am in charge of both this world and the world you come from. Now I took you from your world and placed you here to change the course of this world. Naruto was silent once more, so the king continued. The forces I used to bring you here are calling you back to your world. It seems that your death has caused a deep and shattering rift that, if left untended to, will shatter and kill billions of lives. Naruto's eyes widened. He was that important in his previous life. In this life he was not that important. Sure, he helped in the war, but that was just taking down Aizen's lackey. He wasn't some super-powered hero like Ichigo, was he? My lord, how long will I be gone? The king sighed once more. 73 years. Naruto chocked. That long? Naruto took a deep breath. It couldn't be that bad, could it? I will serve. The king cleared his throat. Come here, Naruto. Naruto, still kneeling, crawled to the king, not daring to raise his face for even a second. I am going to give you back your memories, and you will see the horror you had to experience, Naruto. Once I give you your memories, there is no turning back. Naruto was silent for a moment, then spoke up. My lord, I have one request. The king paused, then spoke up. Of course. When I die in my world, may I please return to this world? The king laughed. That is what I was planning to do, so I will think of something else for you. Now, let us begin. The king placed his hand on Naruto, and Naruto screamed, pain that he never felt before, worse than the ones he felt later. Naruto walked shakily back to Captain's meeting area. He knocked on it, and he could hear old Jama's voice come through, telling him to enter. Naruto did so, and the room suddenly became hushed as if someone had told unspeakable news. Naruto walked forward with his head down. You could feel the sadness, anger, disgust, depression coming off of him. She came forward. Naruto, what's wrong? Naruto smiled at her. I'll tell everyone. Naruto turned to Yamamoto Taicho. Sir, I am taking leave from my duties, for 73 years. Everyone in the room stared at him as if he had grown a second head. Only old Yama was one step ahead. He simply nodded and said, I already heard from His Highness. Good luck, Naruto. I shall inform everyone here. You may go to recuperate. Naruto nodded and smiled. It was a sad smile, one that seemed to know his own death, or rebirth. Naruto left the room to the guest quarters in 2nd Division. He was too tired, too disturbed at what he saw. How could this be? How could he have lived this way? It was disgusting, horrible. Naruto laid down on his bed and glared at the ceiling. Oh, he would come back all right, and he would bring hell with him. Naruto. Naruto looked to his left and saw her. Naruto smirked. Aren't you supposed to be with Yurichi Taicho? She rolled her eyes. It seemed unfitting for her to do that, but Naruto knew her real personality. She looked down and sighed. I heard from So Taicho what happened to you. Naruto nodded. She couldn't take it anymore. She jumped into Naruto's arms and clutched onto him for dear life. Naruto held her also, tears streaming down his face. Naruto's world. Ha! There was a loud thud, as of meat hitting the ground. Sakura's voice cried out in a soft shout, a vicious crack renting the air, a crack like that of bones breaking, shattered by the blunt force of the unforgiving earth. Kin, out of the way! The words were thick and seemed shrouded in a heavy mist. A blast of wind leapt to life, sprinkling his body with a cool breeze. There were 3 sharp clunks and a soft explosion sound. Once again we are back at the tree we first started at. Inside were now only 2 boys. One was suffering in pain from the curse mark put on by Orochimaru. The other one was a cooling corpse. Suddenly, the body of the corpse glowed faintly and suddenly filled with energy. A sword appeared in the hand of the glowing corpse, and then it was no longer a corpse. The boy took his first breath of rebirth. Uzumaki Naruto was back. Naruto's eyes opened to the bright light. His ears rang from the sounds of battle. He felt tired and weak. Oh, so tired, as if he fought against Aizen all over again. Damn, freaking tired, need a good rest. Naruto already knew what was happening. The king had given his memories back and Naruto looked at each one like a memory, experiencing everything over again. It was horrible. His life was horrible. Hell, he liked death, the word that everyone dislikes. Naruto got up from his position and noted he was holding something. Naruto turned and smirked. So you're here too? Naruto felt an annoyed push at his mind. He's probably sleeping, better not wake him. Well, Naruto noted the fighting outside. It'll be better to give him a treat to make sure he doesn't get annoyed. Naruto got up and walked outside of the shade of the tree. Outside was a mess. There were several craters, injured bodies lying all over the floor and multiple teams. Okay, that's Rock Lee, the one that fucked Sasuke up during the start of this whole shit. That is Ino, Choji and Shikamaru, Now those people, I don't know them. Probably the enemy. The one with the bandages spotted that he was awake. Damn, another annoying squirrel come to bother us. Damn it, they come out of the woodwork. Sakura, Choji, Shikamaru and Ino turned and saw that Naruto was awake. Sakura eyes widened. Naruto, help us out. These guys are trying to kill Sasuke. Wait, Naruto, where did you get that sword? Naruto stared back at her. So he gets to die, lucky him. Damn it, since I promised Kami I have to try to live, I can't die here. Damn it, Naruto sighed as he drew his sword. He mentally sent a message to his sword, hey, have some food. Naruto pointed it at the Oto ninjas and lazily said, okay, which one of you wants to lose an arm? Raise your arm now. The one with bandages held up his arm in preparation to strike. Naruto raised an eyebrow. Okay, didn't expect someone would literally raise their arm, but hey, makes it easier for me. Naruto, after simply Shunpet in front of the bandaged boy, sliced downwards easily. Dosa eyes widened and he tried to dodge. He was far too slow. Ah! My arm, why, oh little fucker. Naruto just looked at Dosa with disinterest. Naruto turned away and shrugged. You raised your arm, idiot. The rest of the teams in the surrounding area were silent, staring at Naruto's brutality. Shikamaru shivered. That move, that act, that is not Naruto. What is going on here? Where did he get his sword? How did he move like that? It doesn't make sense. Shikamaru's brain worked like clockwork, but he had no answer at all. Naruto started walking back to the tree to lay down and see how the rest of this plays out now, but then he felt something. Naruto froze. This feeling, it was that of a hollow. Naruto felt his stomach churn. His inner hollow shiver. This is impossible. How is there a hollow here? Kami said that hollows did not exist here and Bija did. Naruto's eyes flickered to the tree. Hollow-like energy was raging from it in masses. Holy shit. Did that Orochimaru's snake inject? No, could it? Naruto's eyes narrowed as he watched as the hollow energy started to become visible very faintly. How disgusting. Looking up, everyone saw it was Hyuga Niji who spoke with his teammate Tenten next to him. Naruto turned and looked at the tree. It's a Hyuga, another arrogant clan in Konoha. Might be fun to fight. Shit, I'm becoming Zaraki, a mere minor sound shinobi, acting like victors by beating those second-class shinobi. He finished. You guys keep coming out like roaches, said Zaku. That bobbed-haired kid is on our team, started Niji before his Byakugan activated. Looks like you went overboard with him. He finished, making everyone's eyes go wide. If you're going to continue to fight, then we will fight with everything we have, said Niji. Just then his Byakugan deactivated. What is it, Niji? Asked Tenten. If you don't like what we're doing, then stop showing off and come down here, said Zaku, getting ready to use his jutsu, though he did not look confident since he had just saw his teammate lose his arm. No, it seems that there is no need for me to do that, said Niji. Finally, everyone, other than Naruto, felt it. Turning, they all saw Sasuke, who was getting to his feet with purple chakra pouring off of him, Sharingan activated and black lines moving across his body. Sakura, who did that too? You spoke, Sasuke from inside of the purple chakra. Sasuke-kun, your body, stammered Sakura. After glancing at his body for a moment, Sasuke spoke up. It's fine. More importantly, I can feel power pouring out of me. I'm feeling good right now. Sakura, say it. Who the hell hurt you? Said Sasuke. I did, smirked Zaku, earning the red-eyed boy's attention. Shikamaru, knowing the danger, quickly called Ino back to her body as well as called for Choji to come back. Either needed to be told twice nor quickly did as told. During this time, the flame-like lines started covering half of the Uchiha's body started to move over to the other half as he turned himself towards Dosu. Dosu could feel the danger from the chakra emitting from the Uchiha. Zaku, however, was quite ignorant and quickly spoke up. Dosu, don't be afraid of some half-dead guy, he said, moving to attack. You idiot, don't we need to? Zaku ignored him and yelled, I'll kill them all with this. It will be finished in a flash. With that, he thrust his hands out, sending a huge air blast where Team 7 was gathered. The attack blew apart anything that wasn't rooted to its spot. When it died down, he smirked, not seeing anyone from Team 7. I blew them all to pieces, said Zaku, breathing heavily. Blew who to pieces? Came Sasuke's voice from next to him before he was viciously backhanded by the Uchiha and launched right over to Dosu. Naruto was now sitting on one of the branches of a nearby tree, looking down at the tree, amused. He's fast, said Dosu. On top of that, he moved her away while moving instantly. Sasuke took this opportunity and made a few quick seals, launching his attack with a cry of Katan, Hausenka sending several small fireballs towards Zaku. Seeing this, Zaku made one more air blast but was unprepared for the shuriken that were hidden in them. It was then that the Uchiha appeared under Zaku. He quickly got around him before grabbing both of his arms and planting his foot into the boy's back. No one missed the insane smile that came to his face at that moment. Naruto raised an eyebrow. Interesting tactic, but useless against an actual opponent. You seem proud of your arms, spoke the Uchiha, applying more pressure to said limbs. He then proceeded to viciously break the boy's arms while he screamed out in pain. With that done, he turned towards Dosu. Naruto chuckled. Interesting choice of brutality. It's sad, with that missing arm you won't be able to entertain me as much as he did. But I should still have fun killing you, spoke the Uchiha while walking forward. Sakura snapped out of her thoughts, and was about to go and stop him when he was stopped. Everyone looked towards him, and was surprised to see Naruto up. Naruto was now in front of him, holding his sword to his throat. Wait, Sasuke, let me claim something from them. This purple chakra needs to be investigated. The only way to do that is find someone who knows or go straight to the source. Orochimaru. Sasuke stared at Naruto and stepped back, allowing Naruto to do his work. Even though Sasuke was being tainted by the power, that does not mean that he could not control himself. Naruto turned to the Oto Nin, who flinched in fright. Naruto smirked and said in a cold tone, "Give me your scroll." Dosu immediately fished out the scroll with his good hand. He threw it on the ground and ran away as quickly as possible. His team followed after him, equally as fast. Naruto rolled his eyes and went to pick up the scroll. Naruto sighed. Now time to live 73 years of my damn life. Okay, Kami-sama told me there are things I need to do. Kill Orochimaru. Wait, that's personal goal. Okay, it was kill the Akamaku no Akatsuki na. Too lazy, I'll think about it later. Naruto sighed and saw that his sword was tinging red. So he likes his food. Naruto raised the blade and flicked it, letting all the blood fall off. Naruto felt two presences dropping behind him. Naruto turned quickly around and held his sword in a defensive position. Whoa, sorry about that, I didn't mean to offend you, a girl with two Chinese-style buns on her head said. Naruto lowered his stance but did not sheath his sword. My name is Naruto, pleased to meet you. The girl smiled. The name's Tenten. That's an amazing sword you have there. Naruto smirked and held his sword up. You think so? Well, just like me. This sword is lazy when it comes to work, but when he's agitated nothing gets in his way. Tenten looked quizzically at Naruto. He as in, the sword? Naruto nodded but then paused and sighed. I forget where I am. Don't worry, you won't understand. Tenten was taken aback. She, an aspiring weapons mistress, not understand a sword? Can I see it then? Naruto sighed. Why? It's an amazing sword and I want to see it up close. I mean, there are different ways to make a sword, from its forging and mending. There are different techniques to make it more. No. Tenten's face grew hard and she clenched her fist. Why? Naruto rolled his eyes in annoyance. You are thinking in the wrong way. Even if you were to examine every possible way of making this sword, you would not understand the true power within it. Naruto took his hand and placed it on the blade. This blade is a part of me and it. That is the basics of its makings. Tenten just stared at Naruto. What does he mean? Did he make a blood pact with it? Is that even possible to do with a weapon? Maybe it's a chakra blade forged with his blood? Damn it! This is frustrating, I want to know. Naruto turned to see Sasuke falling on the ground in exhaustion and Sakura trying to check for injuries. Naruto turned over to Shikamaru, Ino and Choji. He walked over and they tensed. It was not natural to see someone change from hyperactive to a cold-blood ninja. Naruto bowed his head slightly. Thank you for coming to our assistance. Team 10 froze in shock. Was this really Naruto? Shikamaru's eyes narrowed. Naruto. Naruto looked at Shikamaru with an equally hard glare. Shikamaru held his nerve. What happened to you? You changed. Naruto gave a hearty laugh. Oh, that's rich. Tell you what, Shikamaru, I'll give you a hit. I died. Naruto winked at him and turned around and looked Tenten waking up Rock Lee. The Konoha team said their goodbyes and left their separate ways. Naruto sighed. I'd better get those scrolls and head off. Naruto reached out with his senses and discovered a group of Nin camping at the tower. Pretty far, but nothing a good oil shunpa can handle. Naruto walked over to his teammates who were exhausted and both could pass out any minute. Naruto knelt down and said, get some rest. I'll watch first. Sakura, too tired to argue, nodded. Sasuke nodded also, as he was trying to find out what had happened to him. As soon as the two had closed their eyes, they were out like a light. Naruto grabbed them by their collars and shunpoed to the base of the tower. He dropped them of there and shunped to the place where those nines would be. Time to get to work, Naruto thought as he drew his sword and spied his first target. Next day, Naruto watched as the two groggily got up. Sakura woke up first and immediately looked around them. What happened? Why we are at the tower? Sasuke, hearing Sakura's panic, woke up also. What's wrong? Sasuke looked around and also noticed the strange occurrence. Don't worry guys, Naruto said, dropping down from the tree. I got the scrolls and carried you two using Kage Bunshin. It was kinda funny though. I found the scroll we needed from some dead genin, and when I carried you two there was no big a deal. It was like everyone died or something. Sasuke stood up shakily. How did you do it? Naruto rolled his eyes. I told you I got lucky, okay? Naruto helped Sasuke steady himself and gave a hand to Sakura. She got up as well. Naruto started leading them to the door. Later on, Naruto sighed as he looked at himself in the mirror. They had arrived a day early and all of them were admitted into the infirmary. They were already checked out and healthy. Well, Sasuke was taken by Kakashi for some sealing of that hollow Ryutsu. Naruto shook his head. He would either have to absorb that Ryutsu or kill Sasuke. There cannot be another Arrancar not on his watch. Naruto looked down at his disgusting orange jumpsuit. Why did I even wear this again? Oh yeah, it's the only thing I could afford. Then Naruto noticed something funny. What's this? Naruto shifted the jumpsuit and noticed something poking out of one of the pockets. Naruto pulled it out and it was a scroll. Interesting, I don't remember this. Well, I have not been in this for a couple 100 years, so I may forget something, Naruto thought, amused as he opened the scroll. As soon as he read it, he froze. The smile on his face immediately wiped off his face. His hands started to shake. His body started to move uncontrollably. Water ran down his face. He fell to his knees in agony. His heart hurt so much. The scroll contained all of the captains, all of the Fukatekos, all of his friends, his comrades' signatures wishing him well on his vacation. Oh God, it hurt. He wanted to see them so badly. Hell, it had been only a day and he missed them already. Maybe it was knowing that there were 72 years to go before he could see them. Maybe that was why it hurt. But it didn't matter to him. His heart was being squeezed by twisting emotions and coiling sadness. After several minutes, Naruto stopped. He took a deep breath and sighed. Naruto opened the scroll further. A storage scroll. But how? And down fell a letter. Naruto opened it and smiled. It was from her. Naruto, I know you're wondering how did you get this scroll. Well, Mayuri wanted to experiment on the different worlds. So what I had him do is put this on the tether to your soul. Of course this scroll won't last forever, the items will surely carry over. Anyways, I think you'll like what you find. Yours truly. Naruto put down the letter and found the storage seal which Mayuri had put down in very strange writing. Naruto pushed his chakra, Ryutsu equals chakra, into it, and out came what he really liked. Out came a black hakama. The next day, when Naruto entered the building, many people stared at him. Or at least the people who knew him. He was wearing the black hakama Soul's Society had given to him. Many were pondering what made the change from orange to all black. But all of them were grateful to see a positive change in the ninja. First off, announced an old man sagely, congratulations on passing the second test. Naruto was unsure whether to grin like an idiot, or bellow out another whoop of glee, or just yawn out of boredom as the Sandaime Hokage stood before the teams that had passed. The genin were lined up in 3 rows in a large hall with a balcony along the edges a few meters up, and in front of them were their sensei, and the examiners along with the Hokage. Behind the adults, a giant statue of a pair of hands forming the ram hand seal stood along the wall. Kakashi looked at his team. Hokage-sama had taken Sasuke, put a repressor on the seal, so that was good. The only problem is, where did Naruto get that katana? Kakashi knew that the boy was far too clumsy to wield one, and there is no way Naruto could hide it. Naruto probably didn't understand storage seals, and he probably didn't understand how to work them. So how did he get it? The forest? Maybe, but then why does he still have it? An attachment? This will need further investigation. Kakashi opened his book again, still musing about Naruto's new equipment. There were 21 genin in all, so the examiner had made good on her promise to cut the passing group of 78 from the first exam in more than half. Sasuke-kun's team passed too, squealed the girl from Naruto's left quietly in excitement. Something doesn't feel right. Naruto looked around. He felt a subtle killer intent. It was definitely there, but it was hard to detect since that kid with the gourd was releasing killer intent also. What made Naruto interested in this killer intent because it was familiar to a Hollows. Ah well, now if I remember correctly, Kami-sama said that the red-haired kid would be an ally in the future. But an enemy now, he contains a Bija like me. Naruto eyed the red-haired kid, he did seem very unstable. Would he give him a knock on the head and awaken him? Naruto turned back to the front and pushed those thoughts for later. Hokage-sama will now explain the third test. Declared the second examined. Enko was her name, if Naruto remembered correctly, so listen carefully. The Hokage took a step forward and puffed his pipe one final time before removing it from his mouth. Damn, I need a sake, Naruto thought. Before I explain the third test, there is something I'd like to share, something I'd like you to know, the man started solemnly. This concerns the true purpose of the exams. Every genin looked confused. Naruto just rolled their eyes at the stupidity. Seriously, why else do we have genins of different villages compete? I mean, the Uchiha could provide a fucking show by himself. Why do all the allied countries take the exam together? Continued the Sandaime. To promote friendship among the countries, to raise the level of shinobi. I don't want any of you to get confused about the true meaning. This exam is a replacement for war among the allied countries. Naruto nodded. Yep, that sounds right. Spill blood. But in competition where it's all legal, betting, stakes, all part of the economy, hell, I wouldn't be surprised if they purposely rigged the exams to put the interesting competitors up in front. If you go back a while in history, you'd find that the allied countries were enemies who fought each other over who would rule, the Hokage lectured. In order to prevent wasteful fighting, the countries chose the Chunin selection exams as a proper setting to vent our aggression. Naruto wanted to scream out to get on with the fucking show and enough with the damn history. Seriously, we can get this talk later, Naruto thought as he looked down at his sword, which was starting to tinge red. The fact of the matter is, this exam decides which ninja has the potential to become Chunin, Sandaime continued, but there is a second purpose for the exam, where each country's ninja risk their own life to protect their land's prestige. Leaders and influential people from many countries, who make up the shinobi's clients, will be at this third exam to watch each of your battles. If one country shows greater strength than the others, then that country gets more clients, and conversely, if a country appears weak, they will lose clients. It will also send a political message to other countries. This is the power of our village. Yeah, but why do we have to risk our lives in battle? Growled the beast-like Kiba loudly enough for all to hear. A tense moment of silence followed. Duh, for the blood, shit, and plus true skills can come out of life and death battles. Can't believe Konoha is that stupid, Naruto thought. The strength of the country is the strength of the village, the Hokage explained. The strength of the village is the strength of the shinobi, and a shinobi's true strength is only born through life-risking battle. This exam is to show other countries' strength, and to show off our own. It only matters because lives are at risk. And that's why those that came before you have fought in the Chunin exam. But interrupted another girl from the ranks of the Konoha ranks. Why did you say all that stuff about it being for friendship? Dear God, what is up with Konoha? Are we all mentally impaired monkeys? Sigh, glad I died early, Naruto thought. I said that to begin with, admitted the old man. I don't want you to confuse the purpose of this exam. The shape of friendship in the shinobi world is in losing life and establishing balance, however. There is one more revelation remaining before we start the third exam. This is not just a test, this is mortal combat with your dreams and your country's prestige on the line. I don't care about this, just tell us what this mortal combat entails, stated the red-headed kid coldly. Yes, now I see why he is my ally. Right to business, damn it, Naruto thought. Faster he could get this done, faster he could go get some real food and a good shower. I'd like to explain the third test, but, actually, a sickly-looking man appeared between the genin and the other ninja in the room. Bowing to the eldest of them, he was coughing, and his eyes had heavy bags under them, reminding Naruto of a certain Taicho. I apologize, Hokage-sama, but from here on, as the referee, will you allow me, Gekka Hate? By all means, the old man agreed. The man rose to his feet from his respectful bow, and turned to the Chunin candidates. My name is Hate, he greeted and finished with a cough. Before the third test, there is something I'd like you to do. Another fit of coughs interrupted his speech for a moment, giving the genin time to wonder how this man could be fit for the job as a ninja. Naruto knew better. Lies are a ninja's best tools. After all, his life here was one too. A preliminary for the third test. Hate finished his former sentence, to decide who will participate in the main event. Preliminary? Shikamaru demanded in near outrage, a feeling reflected on nearly all the genin. After all, they had already passed the first test, and nearly gotten themselves killed in the second, with varying times to recover ranging from a little over 4 days to mere minutes. What do you mean, Sensei? Sakura meekly asked, not as confident as she had been. Why aren't all of us allowed to participate in the third test? Because the first 2 tests must have been too easy this time, he answered. There are too many of you remaining, so the rules state that to reduce the number of participants, we must hold a preliminary. As Hokage-sama said, there will be many guests watching the third test, and the fights could take too long. We are limited on time. Anyone who can't fight, or feel they've had enough should forfeit now so we can get on with it. Now? An incredulous Kiba roared next to Naruto. Dear Kami, shut up and deal with it, Naruto muttered. Luckily Kiba was in a fit of rage that he didn't hear him. I'm going to quit, announced Kabuto sheepishly down the line, drawing the attention of all watching and surrounding him. Yakushi Kabuto-kun of the Konoha, Hate confirmed from his list, and coughed once more. You may leave. Does anyone else want to retire? From now on it will be one-on-one battles. Raise your hand if you don't feel up to it. After a few seconds, Hate coughed. No one else? Though he didn't bother to listen to the specifics, Naruto heard Sakura encourage Sasuke to quit before becoming too affected by the mark, that curse mark. She would have quit or notified the examiner if Sasuke hadn't stopped her hand from rising and told her not to. There was a brief and silent squabble among the jounin that had undoubtedly seen the interaction, but no action was taken. So I was right, they are trying to showboat. Now what happened if No bad thoughts do not kill innocents. Fatal wounds but no killing. Naruto calmed himself down. Damn it, he really was becoming Zaraki. Then let's begin the preliminaries, announced Hate when no one else volunteered to leave. This preliminary will consist of one-on-one fighting. You will essentially be fighting as though this was a real-life confrontation. A moment of silence was allowed for the genin to understand the situation. Since we have exactly 20 participants, we will have 10 matches, Hate continued. The winners move on to the third test. There are no rules. The fight will continue until death, unconsciousness or surrender. I recommend you surrender if you don't feel like dying. However, when I have clearly determined a winner, I will jump in and stop the fight. We wouldn't want to pointlessly increase the number of corpses, would we? Nice, I can slice them pretty badly then, Naruto thought. To decide on the matchups for each battle, we will use this board word out of the way above the large statue of the pair of arms, displaying a scoreboard. Now, to decide on the first matchup. The suspense, at least for everyone else, was nearly tangible as lights started blinking on the electronic board. Uchiha Sasuke vs. Akado Yoroi. Naruto yawned and sat against the wall. This is going to be a long day, Naruto. Naruto looked up and saw Kakashi looking bemused at him. What is it? Naruto asked in an annoyed tone. Where did you get that katana? And from what I heard from Sakura, you used it pretty well. Naruto shrugged. I got it in the woods and from a place called Happy Land. Kakashi's eyebrow twitched, his jaw grew tight, his eyes narrowed. Naruto, I am your sensei and I demand. Leave me alone, Cyclop freak. I'm not in the damn mood. Naruto waved his hand and looked down at the match. Kakashi glared at Naruto. He would get answers one way or another. The first match bored him as hell. 2 genin were fighting at a genin level. Seriously, it looked more like a dog fight. Shino vs. Saku. The second match was alright. Good usage of your arsenal in a unique way. Kankura vs. Bendigai. The third was same thing as the second. Sakura vs. Ino. The 4 dear Kami. Naruto fell asleep through it. Seriously, a real catfight would be more interesting. Naruto sighed and thought to himself, damn it, I need something to occupy myself. Humrinji did pack me some. Naruto, you're up. Naruto looked up at the screen uninterested and saw the board had flashed his name. Tenten vs. Naruto. Naruto yawned. This was going to be boring. Naruto walked to the rail and in one small hope jumped over it. The flaps of his hakama rustled gently as he landed gracefully on the ground. Tenten walked down and glared at Naruto. Hate looked between the two and waited 2 seconds. He raised his hand and called out Hajime. Tenten immediately threw a couple of kunai at Naruto. Naruto simply sidestepped them and kept waiting, not even touching his sword. Tenten on the other hand rapidly opened a scroll and cut her hand on a kunai. She swiped some blood on it and summoned a katana. Not just any katana, it was Mitsuko. It was made by Tenten's great-grandfather whose daughter, Anine, used it to take out a major fort during the Third War. The jounins up in the stand above tensed. Kurenai and Asuma looked down in worry for Naruto. They had seen Tenten during training sessions with an unbalanced katana. She was a genius, but to use this katana she would kill him. Guy sighed. I believe my student is being very youthful, but this has its limits. Kurenai nodded. We may have to step in. Asuma nodded while feeling for his knives, to be ready to block any major blows. Naruto, on the other hand, was not bored at all. He just stared and stared at the incoming blade. It came 5 inch, 4 inches, 3 inches, time to duck. Naruto pushed his head forward, allowing the blade to pass right over him. A clean miss. Naruto then stepped forwards and placed his hand on Tenten's side. He then pivoted and sent a chakra-packed push into Tenten's body, sending her flying backwards. Tenten cried as she hit the wall. Naruto just shook his head and sighed. This is pathetic. She can't even use her katana. Hey Tenten, right, give up, you can't win. Tenten got up holding her ribs and glared at Naruto. And why not? Naruto rolled his eyes. Well, one major thing is that I just countered you with no weapons. I even waited for you. Another thing is that your swing was overreaching so that your underside was left open. Your right heel was up way too high so you were unbalanced and couldn't recover. Also, when you swung, you aimed at an almost horizontal strike, when it should be a diagonal if you are going to charge. Tenten's eyes widened as he listed her mistakes, all from one strike. Naruto sighed and then did something no one expected. He sat down on the floor and put his head in his hands, staring at Tenten. Well, since I know women and they are not likely to take criticism well, you might as well charge now. Tenten blinked and her face boiled with rage. This punk was mocking her. Because she was a kunoichi. What fucking nerve. Tenten threw several kunais at him and charged once again. Naruto sighed and laid on his back, letting the kunais fly overhead. As soon as Tenten was close enough, Naruto rolled up onto his hands and then did a kick up. Naruto had timed it so that as soon as he kicked up, he shot forward and hit Tenten directly in the stomach, knocking the wind out of her. She flew back once again. Naruto yawned and tilted his head to the side. Now I just sent you flying twice. When you are dealing with an opponent on the ground which is lower than you, why do you even think about approaching at their level? Use the high ground. Naruto started dusting of his hakama. The jounins in the stand were miffed. This is not an ordinary genin at all. This was a soldier. A very trained soldier. Kurenai turned to Asuma. Normally, I'd be happy for a genin's growth, but this is ridiculous. He's basically playing with Tenten. Did Kakashi improve him this far? But surprisingly it was Guy who countered. No, I do not think so. My eternal rival spent most of his time training the last Uchiha. Even though it is quite unyouthful, I believed he was preparing a rival for Lee over there. But Naruto's development is not done over the time he had. Asuma nodded. This is beyond a teacher. This comes from combat, heavy practice in real battles. Look at his feet and hands. All of them are ready to block and dodge. Hell, he even is ready to draw his sword. I don't think Kakashi could teach this kind of style. All of the jounins pondered how such a young genin could improve so far. Naruto stared at Tenten, who glared back. She is supposed to use a lot of weapons if I remember correctly. Hey, Tenten, Naruto called out. Tenten glared and didn't respond. Why aren't you using other weapons? Tenten sighed but didn't take her eyes off Naruto. I saw you use your katana. Cleanly slicing someone's arm with a single slice is what a master can do. I don't know how you got so good, but I want to fight you blade to blade. Naruto lowered his head so that you could not see his eyes. I see this is a matter of swordsman to swordsman. But I need to fight her with the right allegiance. Alright then, you should have said that in the first place. Naruto reached up and undid his Konoha headband. Tenten raised an eyebrow. Why are you? Naruto chuckled. If I'm gonna fight you blade to blade, I'm gonna fight you with the right colors. Many of the jounins and the Kage stiffened. That was an insult to Konoha. What was Naruto thinking? Did he even know what those words mean? By saying a different color you mean the flag, and different flag means you have a different allegiance. Well, Kami-sama said it didn't matter if anyone found out, so I really don't care. Naruto reached into his hakama and pulled out something he had been keeping for a long time. His lieutenant badge for the 2nd Division. Naruto smiled as he looked at it, and then he placed it on his left arm. Ah, that's much better. What is that? Tenten asked. Naruto just laughed, lost in his memories. No matter where I go, who I meet, who I serve, my allegiance is always to 2nd Division. Tenten looked at him questioningly, as well as the rest of the occupants of the room. What is the 2nd Division? Naruto drew his katana, making Tenten silent and read. Naruto took a step forward and simply said, "That is a secret, my dear." Naruto charged up in the stand. The Hokage's mind was racing. What was second division? Was it against Konoha? How did Naruto get a part of it? This was not good. Naruto had been under the watchful eyes of the Hokage for a long time. How can he just join a division without his knowing? Is he lying about it? But his attitude is totally different. He is not underhinged. Damn it, what is going on? Tenten was not having fun. She had first been mocked by some genin, and now she was being backed into a corner, and this kid didn't seem like he was trying. Naruto struck over and over, and his mind of a teacher never failed him. Not when training her, not when training Ichigo, never. But this girl needed a lot of work. Her maneuvers were placing her in horrid positions when she could easily shift to the other side and counter. At least Ichigo learned after the first 3 strikes or so, but she was taking forever to see why she kept losing her balance. Naruto sighed as he swung diagonally at Tenten's guard. This would take a while. Damn it, what can I do? Tenten thought as she dodged another strike to her arm. He wasn't trying to kill her, that's for sure. He was trying to make her bleed. Why? Another horizontal block. Damn it, I'm going to get cut, she thought as the blade was coming to her diagonally to her neck. But luckily she faded back enough so it only got the cloth on her neck. She jumped back until she put considerable distance between her and Naruto. Naruto sighed as he looked at her. I'll give her a few hints. Your guard on the overhead strike should have parried instead of block. You only block when you are going in close. But even then, you do not have the skills for extreme close combat. Now your counter is dreadfully slow. Try slashing while at the same time moving back, it'll stop an opponent entrance. Also, try weaving, it is much better than sidestepping. Tenten eyes widened. Are you lecturing me? Naruto scoffed. What do you think I just said? But if your mind can piece it together then, yes, I am. Naruto stared up at the ceiling for a moment. But why am I? Must have a soft spot for Konochi. Ah well. Tenten in a fit of rage charged. Naruto placed his sword in front of him and waited. She slashed downwards. Naruto moved to the side so fast. Many genin thought it was instantaneous. Naruto then rammed the hilt of the sword into Tenten's ribs. Naruto heard a crack. Yep, I broke a rib. Wait. Never mind, 2 ribs. Tenten fell to the ground holding her side. Naruto hopped away and faced the hate. Judge, I think you should call the match. It's over. She can't. Shut up, Tenten roared as she got up. She took out 2 scrolls and jumped up. Eat this, asshole. Hade jumped up to avoid the blast while Naruto just stared at Tenten. She unleashed a huge, and I mean huge, amount of weapons, ranging from a flail to several kunai. He even saw a freaking spear in there. This is ridiculous. Too bad I have to break them all. They came in closer and closer. Sakura leaned over the rail and Sasuke also was up, staring wide eyes. Everyone in the room was silent. Naruto just stared at the incoming horde and raised his sword horizontally. I don't want to go shirkai. So, Naruto put his free hand over his face. I'll just use that very briefly. Something suddenly appeared over Naruto's face and sinister energy bursted from Naruto's hand, burning all the weapons and racing towards the ceiling. The ceiling now had a 8-foot radius hole in it. Naruto immediately crushed his mask, not wanting to reveal it. Tenten landed on the ground in shock. All of her weapons, melted, done, gone. She had spent years collecting them. She knew each weapon and how to use it, all gone. Naruto looked her inside. Ah shit. Naruto scratched the back of his head and sighed. Sorry about that, maybe I went a bit overboard on that attack. The jounins in the stands now looked at each other. The look on Kakashi's face told the others that he didn't teach Naruto that. Then who did? This was beyond everyone. Naruto turned to the instructor and said, Now judge, I think it's fuck off, you asshole. You don't even use your stupid katana and you melt all of mine. What gives you the fucking right to use it? Tenten was not thinking straight at the moment, and sadly enough Naruto was not in a good mood either. Naruto body stilled and the grip on his katana tightened. He turned to Tenten, his eyes now starting to tinge red. What right do I have? What right do I have? Naruto screamed back. Suddenly, Naruto disappeared, and landed right behind Tenten. Naruto now said this in a smaller voice but everyone could still hear. This sword is my soul, and I will not have you saying that I cannot wield it. Naruto flicked his sword and now people noticed the blood coming of it. Tenten was now still, her body frozen. Why was she frozen? Did she get hit? Naruto placed the katana back into its sheath. Don't worry, I didn't kill you. but I am giving you this warning that you must learn to understand your weapon before you can use it, or you are just wielding a piece of metal. Naruto started to walk away and suddenly blood flew. Suddenly a dozens appeared on Tenten. All the jounins were already over the railing. They ran over to Tenten. Naruto stood over to the side watching the turn over Tenten, and their eyes widened in horror. She was cut so badly that she was losing a lot of blood. The cuts weren't so large, but there were so many that it caused a puddle of blood form. Guy uncharacteristically yelled in a voice of worry, "Get medics over here!" Naruto rolled his eyes. Dear Kami, you would think jounins would have medic techniques to heal cuts. Naruto felt danger imminent, and immediately raised his hand and caught a foot. Rock Lee had jumped at him and tried to kick him. This guy's got spunk. Wait, where's the other teammate? I thought there was one more. Naruto pushed back Rock Lee, who tried to charge again when Guy stopped him, shaking his head. Naruto looked up and saw Neji glaring at him. Naruto laughed. "Wow, I wounded your teammate, and you just glare at me. Man, and I thought Byakuya was pretty cold. You're so pathetic. I shouldn't have let that slip. Oh well." Naruto turned back to the medics who were trying to do emergency healing. They were failing at it pretty badly. One of the medics who were trying to heal looked worried. "I don't think we can heal all this cuts." Naruto's eyebrows rose. "I never thought they were that incompetent." Naruto started walking to Tenten, and immediately the jounins made a wall in front of her. Kurenai glared at Naruto. "Don't you think you done enough?" Naruto rolled his eyes. No, I don't." The jounins tensed. Naruto shook his head. "If those medics keep doing what they're doing, she is going to die. Dear Kami, I never thought you guys were that incompetent." Naruto walked forward. The jounins got ready to attack, but Naruto made no note of it. Suddenly, he disappeared and reappeared behind the jounins. All of the jounins turned around and tried to strike, but suddenly Naruto disappeared with Tenten. "Where did he go?" Asuma yelled. "I'm over here, quiet, I'm trying to work." Everyone turned their eyes toward the voice and saw indeed Naruto was doing something. Naruto took a deep breath and placed his hands on Tenten's body. "Now how did Unohana Taicho say again? Yes. Allow your Ryutsu to carpet the wounds and use them as glue." Green light emitted from Naruto's hand, and many of the jounins recognized as a healing jutsu. But each of them approached Naruto cautiously. After 30 seconds, Naruto stopped and stood up. "Done," Naruto said, yawning. And sure enough, Tenten's body had stopped bleeding. Everyone held their breaths. What had become of the idiot Naruto? Naruto cracked his back and then disappeared one again, this time reappearing up on the stands. The jounins immediately were surprised and stood back, evidently showing their fear. Naruto once again took no note and sat against the wall, bored. I wonder what kind of sake Renji put in my scroll. I'm gonna buy him around when I come back," Naruto thought as he watched the medics carry Tenten away and the jounins disperse. Naruto sighed as he looked down at the match. Or at least the next match it would be boring, Hyuga versus Hyuga. If he remembered correctly, that Hinata was not much of a fighter, and was probably a weakling judging by her shaking body and nervous hands. Of course, he could be wrong. Like he was with Oriheim, but that was a different case. Now then, do I want to get drunk right now? Naruto thought with amusement. He could of course get drunk and sleep through what would probably be some boring matches. Or watch them and see his next opponents. The choice was obvious. Naruto took out a very large bottle of sake and set it down next to him. The jounins and genins still gave him a huge berth, but they looked with curiosity, and a bit of disgust and loathe. Naruto sighed as he looked at the fight about to begin. He sipped some of the sake. Perfect. He hoped this match would end quickly. Naruto was about to chug when he heard something interesting. "I never thought I'd be facing you," Neji said, a cold grin on his lips. "Hinata-sama." Naruto raised an eyebrow. Psychological intimidation coupled with the fact that she has a low morale rate. Interesting tactic. If not harsh, but hey, it's all good. Naruto sipped a bit more and watched. This may turn out to be some good entertainment. "Neji Nizan," Hinata whispered, fear in her pearl-white eyes. Oh, is she trying to guilt-trip him? No, she is too honest for that. Sigh, she really doesn't have the disposition for this kind of work, Naruto thought. "Before we begin, Hinata-sama, please forfeit. You cannot win." Neji's mouth twisted into an angry snarl. "Fate has already decreed I win this." Naruto rolled his eyes. "I met fate, and he ain't one to pick sides. And no." Hinata tried to speak out, still stuttering. "Useless bitch," Neji scoffed. "You never change. You aren't fit to be a shinobi. All you will do is get in the way. You probably didn't want to even enter the exam. You just blindly followed your teammates like a lost little girl. No! Hinata interrupted. I entered this exam, to change myself. To be stronger. Niji's eyes narrowed. You really are a spoiled brat of the main house, aren't you? Don't you understand? People cannot change. Fate decided everything. Naruto loudly scoffed. Dear Kami, this brat needs to visit a psychiatrist. Niji then growled out, you are nothing but a loser, give up. Naruto stopped in mid-drink. Give up, give up, give up. Naruto remembered those words very well. They were spoken by a very stuck-up bastard, who Ichigo killed. Naruto set down his drink and spoke in a loud voice. Niji, shut the fuck up. Kakashi raised an eyebrow. Is he defending her? Niji's hateful eyes flickered to Naruto. Naruto picked up his bottle and just calmly sipped his sake. Naruto sighed once and then looked down at Niji. Does everyone here want to fucking talk all day? Or are we actually going to fight? Unless I enter the fucking speech and philosophy room. Then hurry up and start the show. Niji glared but held his tongue and focused on Hinata. Hinata tried to muster her courage and moved into a stance. Niji caught it out of the corner of his eye and smirked, and got into his stance and activated his Byakugan. Naruto sighed. This won't end well. The anger from those words still lingered in Naruto's mind, so he decided to give Hinata a little push. He lifted his sake bottle to his mouth, but before he drank, he said in a loud voice, Hinata, kick his ass, not for me but for yourself. The ninjas blinked and looked up at Naruto in shock. It wasn't the words that shocked them, it was that it was coming from Naruto. They were amazed that this totally different Naruto would speak out for someone. This went against their thoughts that Naruto had changed completely. Was there still some part of the old Naruto in him? Hinata took a deep breath and settled into her stance while activating her Byakugan. Naruto gave a small approving nod. Begin! Hate shouted. In an instant, the two Vyutas crossed the distances in a speedy fashion, and were exchanging blows rapidly. Naruto looked at the exchange with an amused eye. Palm strike techniques with sudden burst of energy. Probably for internal damage. Naruto watched as the cousins were at each other's throats. Their movements were almost in synchronization, as if choreographed. Naruto watched with interest as he tried to break down their style and see its benefits and weaknesses. Several blows later, Niji ducked under Hinata's palm strike to the chest. Stepping inside her guard and aiming his own attack at her heart, Hinata quickly dodged by spinning on her back heel. It seemed that she would fall, but her flexibility allowed her to plant her other leg to stable her. Hinata fully pivoted and slammed a hard palm strike to Niji's ribs. Niji jumped backwards holding his side. He panted. Naruto smirked. That one had to had hurt, but Naruto was mentally taking notes on their tactics. Hinata was mostly working on weaving her way through using her flexibility. That of course was her greatest asset. That was good and all, but against an opponent like Niji, who could somewhat keep up with the weaving, it negated the advantage. Niji on the other hand was waiting for an opening, a precise opening. Naruto's eyes narrowed. This match might become a bloodbath. Hinata moved to the side of his first glowing hand, but wasn't fast enough to dodge the follow-up attack of Niji's left hand. Her shoulder burning in pain, Hinata stumbled backwards, clutching at where her cousin had made contact. Naruto sighed. She had lost her advantage with the rib strike now. It was probably 30-70 in Niji's favor to win. Naruto rested his head on his arm. He had long sealed away his sake to watch the match. Might as well give her some more nudges. Hinata jumped into the fray. Strike high, strike low, weave, counter, miss, too slow, duck, watch the hand, parry. Naruto shouted out, strike his stomach. The others turned to him in surprise. Hinata unconsciously took his advice and planned strike Niji. It was a direct and good solid hit. Niji moved back coughing. Hinata smiled softly. I got you, Niji-ni-san. Niji just glared at her. Niji charged in. Hinata readied herself to counter. Suddenly, she felt a sudden twinge in her left shoulder that made her falter. Naruto's eyes widened. Shit, that strike before did more damage than I thought. Hinata toughed it out and twisted her body, using her right hand to strike. Sadly, Niji had already anticipated that. Niji quickly used his left hand and pressed a certain part of Hinata's arm, and he used the other to strike Hinata's chest. Naruto stood up and many of the jounins tensed. Hinata coughed out blood. All the nins leaned forward in surprise. Sakura gasped. She still has him right. Hinata pushed forward and tried to push chakra to her arm, but nothing came out. Hinata's eyes widened in realization. It can't be. Niji smirked. He slowly rolled back Hinata's sleeve. On her arms there were several marks that now started to bleed red. Naruto gave a low growl. That was a pressure point. That's not something allies should strike. That could lead to disability. Naruto shook his head. In his own division he would not allow that to happen. This was ridiculous. For an ally to try and kill the other, that was treason at least. Even Zaraki did not kill allies, or at least those he was interested in. Neji harshly palm-striked Hinata, sending her back. Hinata coughed up blood. Naruto gripped the rails, glaring at Neji. Neji just looked down at Hinata. Hinata-sama, this is the difference in talent that can never change. The difference from elite to loser. Naruto gripped the rails tighter, subtly, very subtly. One could see chakra swirl around him. This is the reality that cannot be changed. Neji spoke in a clear voice that clearly held hidden malice and mockery. Naruto's eyes stared in surprise as he saw something surprising. Hinata slowly walked herself up. She was shaking and definitely in pain, but she still stood up. I will not give up, Hinata weakly said. This is the way of my Nindo. Naruto lowered his head. Why do you fight? Naruto said while looking down at the idiot boy. The orange-haired Shinigami panted as he looked up, his sword raised in defiance. I will never ever give up, Ichigo screamed as he charged at Naruto. Naruto smirked and swung down, blocking the strike with ease. Naruto pushed forward and sent Ichigo flying through several boulders. Naruto shunpoed next to Ichigo. Ichigo was panting hard, trying to get up. Naruto scratched his head and sighed. Kid, you've got guts, I'll give you that. But you're an idiot. Ichigo gave Naruto the middle finger. Naruto chuckled. And you have one hell of a resolution. Naruto raised his eyes and looked at Hinata. He was really getting sentimental for doing this. Neji charged. Suddenly he felt a cold feeling. No, it was worse than cold. It was something else. He was going to die. Why? He felt so hopeless. What is wrong? Why? Neji blinked and found his answer in front of him. Move one step here, Neji, and I will slice your head off from where you stand. Kid's still got guts to glare. All the nins jolted. Naruto had stepped in front of Neji, his eyes glaring directly into the others. Neji glared. Why do you interfere? Naruto rolled his eyes. You were going to kill her. That is obvious. Naruto sighed. This kid was really going for the kill. Hate called out, the match is over. Hinata started coughing and fell to the ground, blood flowing from her mouth. Kurenai jumped to the floor and tried to go to Hinata, but she was stopped. Naruto had laid Hinata on the floor and unzipped her jacket. Kurenai's eyes widened. What are you doing? Don't touch her. Naruto just looked down and placed his hands on Hinata's chest and reached for his Ryutsu. The other Konoha Jounins jumped down as well and watched as Naruto healed Hinata. Kakashi's eyes narrowed. The more I see him do things, the more questions arises. What have you become, Naruto? Naruto sighed as he lifted his hands. I put enough Ryutsu to hold the bonds together and reopen the Ryutsu pathways. It should be fine for now, but there is still something. I see this is more special treatment for the main branch. Naruto turned around and glared at Neji. Neji held his ground and spoke more. In the end, a loser is a loser. Fate has. Neji stopped as he felt something close around his throat. Neji was suddenly lifted into the air, struggling against the tight grip around his throat. Naruto lifted Neji with one hand up in the air. Naruto wasn't even looking at Neji as he did so, but rather he looked at the ground as if remembering something. After a second, Naruto looked up into Neji's eyes. Neji, did I not say that if you moved one step you would die? Naruto disappeared with Neji. Suddenly all the nins heard a loud crash. Everyone looked to the right of the stage where Neji was now pinned to a wall by Naruto's elbow. Naruto laughed. A bloodthirsty and crazy laugh. You keep talking about fate, huh, Neji? Naruto slowly drew his sword. I'll give you a one-way trip to meet him. First class, of course. Naruto raised his sword. The Jounins tried to run in and stop him, but they wouldn't make it in time. No nin would. No nin was able to stop Naruto as he swung. Only the nins were not able to stop him. Getsuga Tenshu. Naruto's eyes widened. He released Neji and jumped back immediately. Suddenly a huge blue wave crashed where Naruto had been. Naruto turned to glare at the top of one of the statues where the blast came from. All the nins looked up in shock. There was another person in a black hakama like Naruto, but this man had orange hair and a big-ass sword with him. Naruto smirked as he saw the newcomer. Naruto raised his hand in greeting. Yo, Ichigo-chan.